must be wondering what this giant building behind me is. Nope, this isn't a nuclear power plant or a factory or whatever you might think this is. These are the Tustin blimp hangars. These two buildings are actually made of wood. Standing at 17 stories high, over 1,000 feet long and 300 feet wide, the Tustin hangars are quite the sight. My name is Gray Pham, and this is Quickfire from Archive 24, a series where I tell short stories from around the world. Before we get into the story of the hangars behind me, let's set the scene. Pearl Harbor has just been attacked, and thus, the US enters World War II. The US military begins to mobilize all units to the Pacific. You see, there's one major issue here. With essentially the entire US military moving to the Pacific theater, the US is left relatively vulnerable with minimal defenses. So, what's a relatively cost-effective way to protect our shores? Airships. Or blimps if you're simple. Airships are actually relatively old technology. They were developed in the early 20th century and used in as early as 1915 for bombing raids during World War I. But naturally, with the advanced pace of war, better technology was developed and airships became obsolete. Even the public's opinion of airships became tainted after, well, you know what. After the Hindenburg incident, airships became all but forgotten, until World War II. In December of 1941, the US Navy, who was short on surface ships and patrol aircraft, quickly ordered a small fleet of just 8 helium-filled blimps. The goal of these airships was to patrol coastal waters for submarines and enemy vessels. With the success of the first 8 airships, the Navy fast-tracked an order for even more blimps. These were armed with various weapons and bombs for combating submarines. Eventually, their goals expanded to search and rescue, reconnaissance, mine laying and sweeping, even cargo transport. Now, with this newfound interest in airships, a lot of jobs need to be filled. That brings us to the buildings behind me. This is the former Naval Air Station Santa Ana, a state-of-the-art training facility here in Southern California designed to fill those jobs. This base became a key station in the war efforts of World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and Operation Desert Storm. In addition to the blimps, an arsenal of helicopters and planes were also stationed at this very base. Established in 1942 at the peak of World War II, it lasted until 1949 when it was decommissioned. It was reactivated in 1951 as Marine Corps Air Station Tustin. It lasted until 1999 when it was officially decommissioned. All that's left are these two massive hangars. So that begs the question, why are they so big? Well, when these hangars were constructed, they used a design from years prior. A design intended for Hindenburg-class airships. But after the 1937 incident, airships that size were never produced again. Instead, the US Navy could fit up to 6 of their World War II K-class blimps in each hangar. But now that airships are no longer in use, and these two giant buildings are still standing, what's the future for this complex? Well, in 2013, in collaboration between the Department of Defense and NASA, a prototype cargo airship occupied hangar number 1 behind me as a testing bay of sorts. This $35 million project became the center of controversy when the roof of hangar 1 collapsed in, damaging the prototype. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I can't find any record of what happened to the airship after 2013. So if you know, make sure to comment down below. Time will tell what actually happens with this complex. All I can say is, these two massive hangars stand as living history of airship combat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of the Tustin hangars. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, make sure to like the video, hit the subscribe button because it really helps me out a ton. If you have any stories or places you want me to check out, make sure to comment down below. Until next time, my name is Gray Pham, and this is Archive 24.